Okay, this video is going to be about the Crucible Knight in Elden Ring and how to respond to its moves and what types of moves it does. So I'm just going to fight this, enter this Everjail here, which contains Crucible Knight. I'm a relatively low-leveled samurai, only level 12 with 15 vigor. So this is meant to showcase with like any level how you would be able to do it. Um, and like how long you have to punish things. You might have to make some guesses based on what build you're going for and what changes you would make, but this is how it would work for this. So I'm going to start right away. Like most Everjail monsters, you can run right at them and do a pretty long attack because they have a really long startup, so I'm going to do that. Um, and then and then I'll explain what he's doing as he goes. So that there, he lifted his right foot, right from our perspective, and stomped. That's a, and he didn't. Important thing, he didn't hold the sword vertically above him while he did it. That would have a completely different response because there's a punish window you can do if he does that. Right now, I'm just like they're pretty clear what he's doing, stabbing and slashing. The timing you pretty much just have to learn, but he kind of like inches forward just before he was about to swing. I wonder if he'll do it again. No. There we go. Yeah, he kind of inches forward. That one's harder. You just need to learn the timing. Uh, but he kind of like it seems obvious to me, but there's like a little bit of an indicator that he's done and he's about to swing at you. Anyway, I'm going to stop dodging now and actually respond to some of his attacks. The shield bash, you want to stand about this distance to force him to do it, and he does it pretty often, like that. You want to dodge toward him, and then you get like one small attack. His double slashes, you just step back. That one, he'll usually charge after, since he doesn't have the overhead slam, and then try and force the shield bash again, which I didn't. Yeah, that's the good one. If you see that, that's an opportunity. He always slams down, and depending on what range you're in, he'll do different things. That time, I was outside of his stomp radius, so he didn't continue, and I got to run in and get a free attack. But there's a better version you can get if you are within the stomp radius, and I'll try and show that if he next does it. Which he doesn't seem to be doing. There he does. Within the stomp radius, he does two quick slashes, and you can hit him once in between the overhead slam and the quick slashes. There's a period just long enough to get a really quick attack in. And then you want to do two dodges pretty much as fast as you can. Maybe slow down if you're really quick. And you should be able to avoid that one. That's the main attack that you want to deal with this fight. You can get three good attacks in if you're careful. This one, if he does a stab after like a horizontal swing, it's almost always good to dodge right beside him and get a little attack in. Most of his attacks can be dealt with by rolling next to him and then just hitting him. That's how you punish. I missed that one because I was facing the wrong direction. This is good attack. And then yeah, every time he does that like stab at you, you can dodge to his left side and well, left from our perspective, and get a little slash in. And it pretty much just goes like this. There's not too much to it. You just have to learn when to dodge in and when to dodge out. And yeah, that attack requires a little bit of focus. It's simple enough to mess up the timings. Once you're really sure of how his attacks work, you can start going for the ones that are a little more risky, like the drag the weapon up the side. That one's a little tougher to punish because it's one of his attacks you can attack quickly after. Anyway, that explosion and things, that was his transition to phase 2. The flying down attack is pretty simple enough to dodge. When it reaches near you, watch it like this, like about then. A decent distance from you, you want to dodge to the side. But now that he's in phase 2, he has a tail whip that's really bad. So, yeah, like that. So you want to do very light punishments because at any time he can just tail whip and do like a decent amount of health. Like that time, I normally would have enough time for about a strong attack or two light attacks, but now I would switch to only a light attack because he has enough time really quickly to sling the tail at you. So now it's just about like doing what we've done, but a little more careful because of the tail, which he normally does after his stab. So that was a bit unusual that he didn't there, but he's very prone to doing that after his forward stab and you dodge to the left. Very prone to that. Otherwise, there isn't much to it. His attacks are pretty telegraphed to be able to dodge. And you just want to be careful is the main thing. Um, Normally I do this fight much more aggressively, and I'm usually losing health by now, but oh, I mistimed my dodge there. I was a little slow to react. Um, but yeah, normally you can be quite a bit more aggressive than I am with this. I'm just slowing down for the sake of showing off his moves. And also because sometimes I don't feel safe enough to punish. Like there, I had a time to punish, but I didn't because I didn't feel safe enough. And it's important to just, when you don't feel safe to punish, just don't. You don't have to punish, there's always more time. I'm doing very low damage right now, I should try and speed this up. That was a bad punish, don't do that. I did not... Okay, another thing is that stomp radius, if you enter it just after it exits, he can also do the double slash, which I wasn't prepared for because I thought I spent enough time outside. It's a very short window that you have to do that, but... Also, dodging to the side of him and dodging to just into him is pretty much the same thing. It doesn't matter most of the time. Dodging into an enemy is pretty okay most of the time in Elden Ring. I'm trying to get him to do one of his attacks that he hasn't shown yet, which is unfortunate because I want to show it off before the end here. Come on, come on. He's being really stubborn about it. And so I'm trying to slow us down until he does it because it's an important attack to know how to dodge. A lot of people get caught up in that one. He normally does it after his big fly down, and when you're really far from him, like about this distance here. Also, you can usually punish if you're far away when he starts his tail swipe. I forgot to mention that earlier. And sometimes even close up. What? It is not usual that he does that twice in a row. Oh my goodness, is this boss going to use his final attack? He normally spams them. He's being rough. Yikes. But otherwise, yeah, you just stick to what you know to do from the phase 1, and it's relatively straightforward. Oh my god. I need him to do this attack. Yes, there it is. He does two big swipes. The first one is pretty long, actually, but it's hard to see from here just how far it was. That one you usually don't have to dodge because you usually are not close enough to it. But the second one, you can either roll through it or jump over it. You have a lot of time if you jump, but you want to make sure you jump relatively early before it reaches you. He's doing it again. And you want to jump when it's about, like, just at the edge of your screen. Like, the main part that's going to hit you. Or theoretically hit you, at least. Hey, that was not a good time for that. That was dicey. Anyway, after that, you take what... Okay, see what I mean about him spamming it? Yeah, and then after that, once you know all the attacks, you can pretty much just run through and, just defeat him. And I'm pretty close now, so after maybe 4 more hits, I think, it should be over. When he's holding his shield up, you don't really want to get close, by the way. When he does that, that was a very early jump, and I'm surprised it managed to dodge that attack. Oh, yeah. There we go. And that's out of 5 Crucible Knight. His attacks are relatively straightforward and telegraphed, but I know a lot of people have had difficulties with that, and yeah, and that's that. Other Crucible Knights in other places have different attacks, especially in like the second phase. But those can usually be avoided, specifically the fire breathing one, by running straight backward. So it's not all too different from this fight that I just showed. Yeah. Um, but there are slight differences. Anyway, yeah. That's it for the Crucible Knight fight. Bye.